Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This video is about multiplying decimals, and your objective is, as a student, you should be able to accurately multiply decimals. Now, a little background, Mr. Williams does multiplying decimals a little bit differently. It's something he wants to see on your work. If you do not show your work, you do not get credit, so make sure you watch this video closely to understand what's going on. Right now, you can pause the video and get graphic organizer number 3. We will be working on side 1. It looks just like this. Alright, now that if you're back and you've got your graphic organizer, you're ready to go. First thing that we are going to do, I'm going to tell you quite honestly, you do not need to line up the decimals when you multiply or divide. However, we do need to make sure that we think about our alignment just a little bit. And what I want to tell you is that when we multiply, we always want the longest number, or the one with the most digits, first. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and this one is the longest one, so we're going to put 0 and 234 thousandths times 2 and 3 tenths. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and make our line. Now, what I want you to do, what makes Mr. Williams a little bit different than everybody else, is I want you to draw a line down the right side. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. And then what I want you to do is I want you to count how many digits are between the decimal point and the line. For example, I'll start with the first one. We have 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digits. So because there's 3 digits, I'm going to say that's worth 3 places, because this is calculating how many times I'm going to have to move my decimal when I'm done. For the second number, I move 1 place to get to the wall, so I have a total of 3 plus 1. That equals 4 total places. Now, all I simply do is multiply like normal. So 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 0 is 0. Now, I move on to the next row. What do I need to do? Well, I need to go ahead and cross off my 3, which means I also need to have a 0 down at the bottom. I call that guy a dead guy. I also want to go ahead and cross off the ones at the top just to make sure I've already used them, so I don't get confused. 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 0 is 0. Now, just like normal when you multiply, you're going to go ahead and add. 2 plus 0 is 2, 8 plus 0 is 8, 7 plus 6 is 13, 4 plus 1 is 5, and obviously we have our 0. Now, remember that 4 places. Well, what we're going to do from that same line, we're going to move 4 places to the left. So we're going to move 4 places. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. And my decimal would go right there, which means my answer is 0 and 5,382 10,000ths, and that's my answer. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I'm asking you to do. Make sure you write your places on the side. Draw the line. That's all you got to do. All right, example number 2. Here we go. We have 38 and 6500ths times 4. Remember, we want the longer number to go first. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my line right now so you guys can kind of get an idea. I'm going to go ahead and line my stuff up. We have 38 and 6500ths, and I'm multiplying by 4. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. We need to count how many places for the first one, and it's really easy. Between the digit and the line, there's 2 places. Now, for the second one, there's no decimal, which just means 0 places, okay? But you remember the decimal is on the right, so it'd also be on the right, which means there's no decimals in between the line and the decimal point. No big deal. We have a total of 2 places. We're going to go ahead and multiply. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 2 is 26, carry the 2. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 2 is 34, carry the 3. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Ladies and gentlemen, there's only one row. We need to move our decimal 2 places in. And it would be right there, which means 154 and 60 hundredths, or you could also write 154 and 6 tenths. Both are the same answer. Circle it when you're done. Move on to example number 3. All right, this one's trying to trick you just a little bit. This is the ones where you got to catch. I-Step does the same thing in 6th grade. They try to trick you. We have 23 and 1/10 times 12 and 45 hundredths. If you look really closely, this one's 4 digits. So to make it easier on myself, I'm going to go ahead and put that one first. So we have 12 and 45 hundredths times 23 and 1/10. Right, draw my line, count my places. I have 2. And for the second place, I have 1 place, for a total of 3 places. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and multiply. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 1 is 1. I'm going to go ahead and cross off the 1 because I'm done, which means I need a dead guy. Okay, go ahead and multiply across. 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, now I'm going to cross off the 3, which means now I have 2 places crossed off, so I need 2 dead guys at the bottom. I need to cross off my 1s at the top so I don't get confused, and I'm going to go ahead the last time. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 2 times 2 is 4. And we're going to cram in down here at the end. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add those together and see what we get. 5, 0, and 0 is 5. 4 and 5 is 9. 2 and 3 is 5. 9 and 1 is 10, plus 7 is 17. 4, 3, and 1 is 8, and we have our 2. We need to move it in 3 places. So from that line, so 1, 2, 3, our answer is 287 and 595 thousandths. Ladies and gentlemen, that's example number 3. We have one more before you're asked to do things on your own. The last one, this one's an easy one. Okay, we have 85.3. Oops, can't write. 85 and 3/10 times 2 and 8/10. Go ahead and draw my line down the side, count my places. That's 1, and this is 1 as well, for a total of 2 places. We're going to go ahead and multiply across. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 2 is 42. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 4 is 68. We're going to go ahead and cross off our 8, which means we need a dead guy. Cross off our 2 and our 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 is 17. We're going to go ahead and calculate by adding together 4, 8, 8, 13, and 2. What we get 2 places in, our decimal goes right down there, 238 and 84 hundredths. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your 4 examples. At this time, I want you to go ahead and pause your video and do these 3 on your graphic organizer. I'm going to give you the answers only when you come back. So go ahead and pause the video, then I'm going to give you the answers only. You need to check them. If you do not get them correct, you need to come see Mr. Williams, because this is super, super important. So pause the video now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answers at this time. Okay, your first answer you should have gotten is 14 and 976 thousandths. Okay, the second one you should have got 650 and 4/10. And finally, the last one, this is the tricky one. Remember, you should have put 2 and 3,214 first to make it easier. It would reduce the number of zeros you had and what you had to deal with. But you also had to move it in 5 places, which made it really difficult. Your answer should have been 16 and 48,194 hundred thousandths, and that's your answer. If you got any of those incorrect, you need to see Mr. Williams. You need to see somebody else in the classroom that's a teacher to make sure that you know what you're doing. All right, you have an exit ticket. If you see at the top, it says you're going to do this one on a sticky note. This sticky note you can find on the bookshelf by the do nows when you walk in the door. Okay, if you don't have any there, you can ask Mr. Williams. He's got some at his desk. He'll put some more out there. All right. Hey, listen, 2 questions. That's all you got to do. Remember, the longest digit or the longest number should go first. And hey, don't forget anything that you can't remember. I'm looking for that line on the side and for you to count those places. Bad teacher, out.